my name is Ethereal Author, and I'm back with another video of map designing. And in this video, I want to show you the completed version of the map I was working on last week doing a capital city map for my book series. This map here is called the Illuminarium city map, which is pretty much one of the focal points, focal places of my book series. But anyway, before I get right into it, even though I have taken initiative to completing the map, I am not done with this masterpiece right here. But before I get into it, I will show. Before I tell you my plans, what I got for this map, I want to say, please, subscribe to my videos. Check out the videos as well. I do have links. I will have a link to the last video with this map, and also visit the website, the Dark ICHALOCHA book series website. Also my portfolio and other links as well. Now, pretty much what's going on here is that with the last map, I kind of pretty much was playing around with it, and I left half the map. Unfinished. But as you see, compared to the other map, in the last video, I kind of added a little park here, or a little garden here. I added a water city. Pretty much I wanted this map to represent the 5 elements or the 6 elements of the book series. So I mean, even though pretty much I kind of try make it neat as possible, keep stay with the lines and so forth. Some stuff I say epic. Especially with nature here. You can see the details here and stuff like that. But all in all, sorry about that. All in all, it's a pretty decent map. So what am I planning on doing with this map here? Well, there are numerous things what I can do here. Sorry, I keep hitting that window button here. Let me put that up front. I don't know if I was messing up with that. Put that on center stage. Now the map, as you can see, is not really center focus here. That's okay. But I do have everything I want to do with it. So one thing I would probably do is this. I'll probably either do 2 things. I could probably label it in Inkitt.com, or I could that's the website, designer website, and Incarnates. I'll put the link down below as well. Or you could do it in Photoshop, which I prefer to do in Photoshop, because the reason why is that number one, I do have a font I prefer to use at the moment, which is called Pharaoh. I think it's called Pharaoh font they use for Final Fantasy. So, but I want to show you just a little bit with how this can go, how well this can go for your map, and also adding details as far as explain doing explanation for the places that that's within this world right here. So let's get started. I hope I explained that well, but if I haven't, just watch the video. So one thing I want to do is this. I want to create a parchment like material for the map and everything like that. So one thing I want to do is this. I want to make this 8.5 by 11. So what I gotta do is rotate this real quick, counterclockwise. There we go. Now I got this lovely piece from unsplash.com from Wesley Ting. I don't know how to pronounce, but you see that little name right there. That's the guy that designed it, and and pretty much I use a lot of stuff from that website, to design my backgrounds, or get an idea for my background and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gonna take this here. I'm gonna stretch. May I stretch it out a bit? I don't want to. Normally I wouldn't stretch out pictures, but if it's a pattern like this, I would do it. I don't mind doing that. And another thing, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to I want to make it more make it look like more worn out, or more has a little bit more yellow or brown to it. So I will go to the color balance here. Well, first let's go to levels first. I'll take down the levels here, and you can pretty much save this file here if you plan on using it in the future, which I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna save it as map parchment. There we go, map parchment. I always like to say desktop because that's where I know that. So now I have my parchment paper, right? So next thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my map over. Now there's two things you can do if that's if you choose to do it. Now I can make this color, or I could turn it to the color of the parchment. Depends. It's all about your preference. So one thing I want to do is this: I'm going to take the background here. Now it's going to be a little bit large here because it's a large map. And when I pushed out the map, it was like I think I pushed out in 8K. Matter of fact, let's see how big this map is. Because I know this is like a large map. So let's look at the image size here. It's 113 by width, 113. Well, it's a square inch, so 113.778 both ways. Got 300 resolution, which doesn't matter. I say like if you wanted to save space like on your RAM or your hard drive, you may want to bring it down a bit. But once I already have it already over to the parchment paper, I might just get rid of that because I don't have any use for it right now. So let's do this. Let's close this out so I can save RAM on my laptop, make it run faster. And I'm going to put this on the dock here. Just bear with me till it catches on. There we go, right on the dock. Now I'm going to downsize it. Now, normally, now I'm the type of person that likes to, pretty much, like I like to have like duplicate layers because I know I'm about to really, really get into it as far as like if I wanted to have a parchment or what so forth. I do want to have a border here, which I don't have, but I can fix that. So so one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a border with it. I'm sorry about that if you heard that bell. I want to give it a nice border with the stroke here. Give it change that back to black stroke or a solid stroke, solid color. Got black, and you can always push it up. Now, normally, also what you can do is this: if you have the time, you can make your own background and put it inside. Well, not make your own background. There's a website called pngwing.com, and you could put a border around it. If you wanted to give it a more a romantic, like a more Victorian feeling. Matter of fact, let's do that. So let's go to pngwing.com. If you see something on this laptop, I'm not at fault. Okay, so let's look for a nice border, like a Victorian. Let's say Victorian. If you want to add a little style to it, like classic style or stuff like that. I'm pretty much like trying to figure out which one is the best one for me. Like if you wanted to be like, if you want to have like a floor pattern, you can have that. Let me see. Well, first of all, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take this one. I like this Art Deco here. I'm gonna download that. And PNG Wing stuff is technically free. Just make sure you get credit to where you got it from. Or if you are planning on using your artwork, make sure you don't have it, just don't do nothing with it. You gotta, make it different in your own style or use it in your own style. So, okay, I got one of my borders here. So let's get a square. And sometimes you have to be very careful too, about using other people's stuff. Okay, let's get a Victorian square border. See what happens here. Let me see. Now this is not what I'm looking. Let me see. Error, ornament. I don't know. I don't really not feeling that, but let me see. I don't know about this either, but we can grab it and see if we can mess with it. Make it more of a square, but we'll see. Okay, I got two of my pieces here. I'm going to get another one. See if I can find another one just in case. Always have more assets in your arsenal. That way, you have more to choose from. And almost perfecto. Okay. Let's see. Should we go with this one right here, the gold plated one? I'm not quite sure. Let's look down some more. Also, I would like to have my border thick. That way, when I actually when I actually you know push it up, it won't look so rasterized or distorted or grainy. All right. So pretty much I like the other ones back here. Let's go back up a little bit. Just trying to figure out which one is going to be the best. Hmm. I'll say let's try this one right here. This doesn't look too bad. I'm going to grab that one. Now, here's the thing about it. Since this is going to be on parchment paper, everything's going to be pretty much in black and white and whatever's on that parchment paper. So I have my three pieces here. I'm going to open them up. And right now, I'm just basically laying a foundation for the for everything's to come. Okay, here we go. It also is very good to have a border for your page or your map, because like it will keep you like center focused within the confines. It kind of stabilizes your picture, that it does not look like it's floating off in the air like this right here, like it has nothing here. So I always like to fancy things up. So let's do this. I'm going to take this border here, and I'm going to put it on the parchment paper. I may do a little stretching here. Of course, it's okay. Also, number one thing too, make sure you lock down your layers. I have a bad habit of not doing that, so I'm going to do that. And I'm pretty much done with this for now. I'm going to do a free transform, and I'm going to bring it down to here. And don't worry about it. Sometimes you have to make it fit. And so, and if you haven't figured it out, I'm pretty much a classless person, as far like a class. Well, I ain't say classless, but I'm pretty. That's kind of weird. I got to do something about my English skill. I'm pretty much like a person that has like a Victorian, more like classical ideology when it comes to creating artwork. Now, I mean, I have other what's the word? I have other styles that I have messed around with, but right now I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm more in this era here and trying to design um in my digital artwork design. So here's the thing about it. Like, I don't like, it's kind of looks kind of weird here. So I'm going to add some guidelines here. Maybe I bring the border in a little bit, so I can maybe so I can have it to snap the grid. It looks kind of looks a little bit off. To me it does. You know, if if it looks fine to you, that's fine. Everybody has a opinion, or has their own style, which is fine. Everybody should have their own style. So I'm gonna just bring this in a little bit, so I can have a little, just to get off the edge of the border. And you always want to have something to not be in the way. Well, you always want to have like a bleed session up here, just in case you do a printout. You know. Okay, so we got this going on here. We got a map. I'm going to push it down here a bit, and I'm going to lock it down as well. Also, excuse me for wheezing. If you hear a little wheezing in my voice, I have bad allergies. I can't express that enough. All right, so here's another thing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one, the one that has I'm going to take this right here, the one that has this background here. So what I'm going to do with this background is I'm going to expand it out a little bit, by increasing the canvas size. I'm gonna keep the same dimensions as square dimensions. Wow, it's large too. So let's make it 15 by 15. That way we can even it out. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Make sure your disc size, be aware of that, because this will happen. So I can't make it larger. So right now I can do two things. Let's turn off some programs. If I let's turn off the map here. Turn off the website here. You know. So pretty much I turned off my browser. So let's see. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I turned off my browser. So let's see if I can push that number up. Now if I can't, no problem. Then I could probably just shrink this down here. Do a free transform. Just shrink it down. Keep the dimensions. There you go. That way, you always got to working what you got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another layer, new layer, and I'm going to make this black. I'm going to make switch this around, put a black, say black border. If I'm talking too fast, I do apologize. No, all you have to do is, like, if you want to see how I'm doing things here, you can always go back and rewind the videos, or check back in the videos and stuff like that. I will try to slow down for you guys. So we have this right now. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do a black background, a black border. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring the map in here too. See if I can just do a little adjustment. So let's do this real quick. All right, looking good already. But that's not black. All right, let's make this a little bit. Let's make this white. Now, I also kind of like the gold leaf me. Like, if you want to play around with it, like with velvet emboss, you can do that. Make it stand out a little bit. If you want to. Let me make sure. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it won't work. And that is not my plan. That's not my plan. I just basically just playing around with it. Sometimes I like to see what effects I can get from it, but like it's not working right now. I'll figure that out later. But I want to make this a white border. So let's go with. Oh, you know what? I think I'm on the wrong one. Let me see something here quick. So pretty much it's not changing. So that might be a little challenge here. Let me see something here. Let me see something. Wait. Okay, here's a problem. Make sure preview is on. There you go. Easy fix. Now I might add a Bellevue. I'm not quite sure. Do a little emboss. Add a Bellevue. Let's see what happens. So it kind of gives it a nice little effect, but I'm not looking for that right now. So I just want something plain and flat. All right, let's bring in the parchment map. I can always drag it in here. Not here. And the reason why reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want the picture to like it's floating in space. I want it to look like it's grounded. Now this might be a problem because okay, all right. I'm gonna move it around a bit, make sure Right now, get a little snappy effect. Now, if it snaps, that means everything is centered, which is pretty good. Now, here's another thing to it. Now, I might try to bring in the. Here's another thing. It looks like a portrait, doesn't it? I don't know. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do another. I'm gonna do something else real quick. Now, I'm gonna duplicate this because I want to see what it looks like on parchment, on a parchment version of it. So I'm going to basically I'm going to drain out all the color, drain out all the color from the map. Now the problem is I may have a problem in seeing the words when I'm about to get ready to add on to it later. So let me do this. I'm going to do a hue saturation. I'm going to drain out the color. There we go. Now everything is kind of is a little bit hard to see. So we're gonna try to fix that. Maybe turn up the levels or something like that. But basically, I want to look like a parchment map. All right, and maybe we could mess with the levels a little bit right here. Make sure the preview's on. Okay, just making sure. I don't think nothing's working here. Normally, let me see something here. Also, the problem might be as well as that if I'm having a hard time, if the preview is not working, the RAM might be full as far as your random access memory. So don't panic if it doesn't do that. It just it's a computer. There we go. I don't want it too bright. Just want it bright enough. Okay, so there we go. Now, one thing I can do is I always switch between back and forth. That's why I always create like a double layer, and this just to test it out. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring this border in a little bit. This looks kind of a little fat to me, so I'm going to. Matter of fact, I don't need to do that. Let me go to canvas size. Let me see canvas size. Let's go to inches. Now we may have better luck going down than pushing up. We'll see if that works out. I'll proceed. Yep, still doing it. Okay, no problem. So we're gonna do this by hand. We're gonna do this by eye. Moving our eye. Matter of fact, let's not mess with it. Let's leave it as is right now. We're gonna okay. Okay, so I'm tempted trying to convert everything to smart layer. So my file size is large. So this is what we do. I can't select anything. So let's do this. Since we have a large file, that's why I'm saying like my RAM is kind of like going crazy right now. So I'm going to have to bring the picture down a lot. I just doesn't hope it gets distorted too badly. So let's do this. Let's bring it. I'm going to really bring down the image size. So what I want to do is I want to keep 300, and I'm going to bring it down to maybe 4 by. Let's do 6 by 6. I mean that's still a decent size. So all right. Okay, I'm running into a little problem here. So let's do this. Let me save this. Oh. All my scratch disk is full. Now, if you run into a problem like that, don't panic. As I'm trying to do here. All right. So one thing I want to do is this. I'm going to see if any background. If that ever happens, make sure you go to your task manager and see if any background programs are running. Which this is the largest one. So let me see if I can quit one of these. Quick shut down Steam real quick. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, my Adobe is one that's taking up like most of my memory here. So maybe if I free some things up, it'll work out. All right, let's try it now. Nope, still taking too much. So here's the thing about it. I have to make a choice. I have to either close the window out, which I will do this one right here. That way, by closing the window out, you can build a Just click OK. Don't worry about building a preview. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so we freed us some space on our scratch drive. So we may have to repeat some things over again, but I'm not worried about that. I can always, I'm a very fast worker. So let's do this. Let's bring down the canvas size a bit. Matter of fact, this is not what I want. Let's bring it down here to image size. As you see, is huge. So I like to do this. I'm gonna put it about 300. What do you mean? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Okay. What are you talking about? All right. I'm not gonna have to really trick this computer. Okay. Don't worry about it. I need 300. Click OK. All right. This should free some of the memory up. All right. Now I'm gonna do a file save. Let's see. All right. All right. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me take a look at the task manager as well, because this maybe the thing maybe I freed a lot of space up by bringing it down a bit. Let me see. Make sure. Nope. Still using a lot of CPU or memory. Not a problem. So I'm gonna export. No, I'm gonna keep it as is. Matter of fact, I want to make this a smart layer. Convert to smart layer. Maybe we could, and sometimes converting to smart layer will free some of your scratch disk up. So also I have my OBS running as well. So I'm kind of like redoing recording. Okay, let's open this back. Let's see if we can open it back up. Illuminarium parchment map. Now, if I have to rebuild it, I'm not gonna be upset. Let's see, open recent. All right. All right. So I got to start from scratch from the other one. I wasn't able to save it, but that's fine. So I'm gonna hit cancel here, and we're just gonna start from scratch. Now this time I'm gonna make sure I don't make it too large. So image, the file new. All right, 8.5 by 11. Oh, this is good. White paper. We do orientation. There we go. 8.5 by 11. And we're going to create click. Now, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to drag this over. That way, when I drag it over, I can turn it off. Get rid of the this actual piece here, and I click no. And I'm gonna do a free transform. And this is me starting from scratch. See, when you working with work with graphic design, you're gonna have to learn more than just solve graphical image or conquer graphic techniques. You also got to become your own computer repair guy or technician, is what they call them. I should have built my own computer. I really want to build one of those supercomputers. I don't know if that's gonna be real, but let's see right here. I'm basically trying to get the guidelines perfect. All right, so let's open up everything again with the parchment and the. Let me see with the parchment paper. I don't need that anymore, so we're gonna get rid of that. Don't need that. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go to open, and we gotta go to download. I'll take that, and I think I use this right here, and let's open it. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat the process what we did before I had a mishap in with my scratch disk. So I'm going to drag this over because this is already large in size, but I'm gonna drag this over, and I'm going to downsize it as much as I can. Okay, so pretty much, I'm already back to square one where I started off at, and here we go. All right, and I don't need that anymore. And the reason why I'm just like cutting things off right now because I really am trying to conserve my RAM space. So you will want to do that. I'm just gonna have to give my laptop some maintenance later on, which is fine. There we go. Remember, don't panic unless you have done like 3 hours of work and you didn't save. That has happened to me before. Boy, I remember I was on a ball with a project. It was a video. It was actually an animation project I did years ago. I don't do animation anymore. Well, I would like to do animation, but only through After Effects. But anyway, back to the story. Pretty much like back in my college days, when I was going to school for to do what I do as far as digital media. We had the bad habit of well, I had a bad habit of not saving frequently. Like you're supposed to save. They say every time you do do maybe like you should save every 10 minutes. Every 5 to 10 minutes. But there was me and others. We had like some type of power outage or something like that, and we lost all our shit. And most of us lost our shit because it was a project that it needed to be turned in. So yeah, save frequently, man. Make sure you save frequently. So I'm going to attempt to save this one. I say we came a long way, but like I said, I like to save it. Uh, you know, there you go. All right. So now the next thing that you can do is this, like you can add text. Now this is what I was telling you about, like if you want to keep it in color or not, because I actually wanted to add some text here, like where the city is located and stuff like that. Actually, it's kind of a little grainy right here. I don't like that, but I had no choice but to bring it down a bit. But in a way, you can do two things, right? Well, first of all, let's do this. Let's put the title at the top of the page, right? We're gonna do this, and we're gonna write. Make sure you gotta bring the text down a bit here. I say maybe let's start. Let's erase all this crap so we can start fresh. And I'm gonna bring it up to maybe size 24. I think maybe that work. Let's try this. Illuminarium. Let's see. Aluminum capital city. All right. Now this is kind of a little weird because it's kind of scrunched up together. So it's okay to if you want to do it this way, that way you can keep it centered. And I'm going to use a typeface called Ethereal. That's you can get it free online from the fonts or font 1001 fonts. Let me see if I can find Ethereal. Here we go. This right here. And I'm going to push it up. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to push it up the way I can. Give me 1 second. You know. Okay, so I'm going to do add free transform. Oops, didn't want to do that. All right. Now, what I wanted to do here is I wanted to put a city key map here, maybe I'll do a little introduction, give maybe like 1,000-word introduction here, stating what the city's about. But this pretty much is just like a lore page that I created here. Matter of fact, let me do this. This pretty much is like a lore. And then if you want to get into doing it doing a full size map, you can a little later, which I could probably do in a video if you want to do like a actual a key to a map or a key map to the introduction and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, we will get into that. Give me 1 second. Ahead and try to get some more content to fill this out. So what I have done is this: I created from my book. I have a description of the Illuminarium map, or the Illuminarium city. Excuse me. Illuminati capital city, excuse me. So pretty much what I do is this, if I wanted to add some text to make it look more as it has lore, I most definitely have retrieved that for you. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring it down a lot as far as with the font size or the font point, because I do have a lot that I would like to put in here. So pretty much this is what I have so far as and writing lore or putting in the lore of the book. So as you can see, it's a lot to put here. So I'm not gonna put everything. I just want to put it in there just to show you how this can go. And basically, I'm basically just erasing just enough so you can see what I have here, what you can do here. So now that I have enough here as far as the text, I'm going to break this up a bit so I can give it make it look decent enough. So I'm going to cut this right here, and I'm going to bring it up here. Right now, it's all about fixing it up the way you want. Give it a minute. It's kind of like loading up some stuff. And don't worry about looking kind of like weird right now, because we're going to change. We're going to make sure it looks good. I'm going to do another here. And don't be afraid to mess up too. Messing up is part of the process. I always keep saying that. Let's get this out of here. It's in my way. Well, I can't get it out of here. What? Okay. Well, we'll work through you around you. So I'm basically going to stretch this out some more till I can be able to see the text here. And I may just want to like cut this down a bit some more. Like I said, you can all. I'm going to like try to fit all the text I have saved so far. I'm going to make sure everything's lined up in order. Even with this out here, we're just gonna make sure everything lines up to where it should be, right? You can even make this smaller if you want. We're not really worried about that. Now this is gonna look a little bit off. This thing is in my way. So let's do this. I'm gonna create another. Man, let me see if maybe I can fit everything in here. Yes, I can. I gotta worry about adding more. Okay, so I wish I could get rid of. Let me see if I can get rid of this real quick. Hide bar. There we go. Now I know it's kind of a little bit hard to see at the moment. So what we're gonna do is this. We're going to just go in a little bit, see what's the problem. Now, as you see, we have all the text is pretty much like um, capitalized, and we don't want that. So we're going to fix that real quick. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to go to Windows and we try to find paragraphs or paragraph style. But that's not the one. So paragraph is the right one. Paragraph. So first of all, I want to get rid of hyphenation. Get that out the way. You know, and then I'm going to try to make it even looking like that. But there is a place we can go with the characters, and we could change the capitalization right here, which kind of makes it look a lot more easy to read. Now, this is kind of still hard to read for me, I do believe. So what we want to do is this: we want to fix this, but maybe we could choose a 12-point font, maybe 13. I don't know however size that you want it. So let's go back to 24 font. About let's say about 18. Nope, back to 14. 12 font it is. Now, here's the thing, but I'll play around with the kerning or the leading. Basically, if you could bring it up some more, or don't bring it up too much that it won't be easy to read. And I'm gonna take out the capitalization here. Actually, they actually gave it a bold looking, which the boldness gave it a better look. But anyway, so what we want to do is we want to play around with, something that to give it personality. You always want to give it personality. Now, if I was gonna do some old ancient text, I'll probably do something maybe like from Castlevania. They have that, maybe like a gothic text. I'm not quite sure, but also you want to be careful because you want to worry about continuity up here. Like you want the text, you want this text to match this text. So, and the only reason why I changed it because I could not see. It was kind of strange to me. So we could always play around with it, see what we can find. If you want to do free brush script, you can do that. I think they got like I'm not gonna do it though, but I think they have a Disney font that you can download if you want to give it a Disney feel. I'm not doing that. I like this. Now we gotta make it look better though, as we know. Now it does still a little bit hard to read, so maybe we could play around with it. Maybe we can. I don't know. We can. We can add a backdrop. Not a backdrop. What I'm talking about with the layers. Let's see if we can add a drop shadow. That's what I meant. A drop shadow. Don't worry about it. I know it looks kind of strong here, but we'll fix that. Turn down the luminosity and we do a spread. Also, what you can do is this as well. Now, if this parchment is not working for you, we could always bring down the levels here. Of course, you would lose your worn effect. But if it sometimes you just gotta like deal with it. If you can't fix the way it is, it's all right to just say, hey, you know what, you gotta do what's best for the design, or do what's best for whoever's going to be reading it. And I prefer to like lose. Sometimes you have to lose to win, in my opinion, which is not really losing. So basically, I'm just going to do this here, and still, we got to change the font here, and we're going to make it the same thing that we did before here, and we're going to take off the. Now I can still cheat a bit by giving like for example, this may be too strong for the. Hold on a minute. First of all, let me take off the. Maybe I gotta take off the hyphenization. So that's what we're gonna do first, cause hyphenization makes things look weird. Okay, so what I could do is this. If I want this to stand out a little bit more, I most definitely will add a maybe like a stroke effect on here. So let's do that. Let's add a small stroke once I get this fixed right here. Character, we're gonna take this off. There we go. And we might be able to make this a little bit bigger, longer. Let's push up to 13. Also, like I said before, you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind who you producing this for, because you may have elderly people reading this as well. Who's into your You got to be keeping in mind who might be reading this. You got to make it reader friendly for everybody. I put it that way. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So we're going to do that. All right. And why is this? Trying to figure out why is this Okay, I got an idea. Let me see something. There we go. I was trying to figure out why I was doing that as far as like having all capitals. All right. Let's make sure we can. And it's gonna be a little tight. That's fine. Then we're gonna get this to match by making sure we do the kerning or the justification the same way. And we want to make it snap together. There we go. Snap that there. Okay, we do have a problem here, so I'm going to bring this in a little bit more. Now the problem is I haven't is running into the border right here, so we can fix that by doing this. We take this out, add a cut. Matter of fact, let's do this. We could take this part here, do a cut, bring that up here, and we're going to duplicate this again. Now this where you really have to. Oh crap! Did I see? Oh, you know what? That's okay. It's basically like I said before. You're basically just trying to make things fit within themselves. That's what we're doing right here. Just making sure things fit. I could take up the. Here we go. It's okay if you have a little white space here. It's all right. Normally you wouldn't, but if you're trying to make it fit, you're gonna I don't know. Be unique. Make it do what you can. Matter of fact, I may bring this down just a bit. Oh, it's okay to have some space in between. You want that. And we're gonna tweak it right back this way. All right. Then we're gonna boost you up. Maybe it looks nice with some extra space. Sometimes you have to go back and forth to figure out what's best. All right. Now here's the thing about it. Now I probably would like put this like have the center in the middle just to since it is in the middle. I don't know. I mean, sometimes like I said, you have to play around with it. All right. Now let's make it more readable. So I'm gonna go to um, everything I just did right here. Um, Before I continue, I want to say this: it's probably best bet to do this in Adobe InDesign because Adobe InDesign is literally built for making pages and stuff like that. So I'm just doing it here. Maybe I do it do a maybe I'll do I can't think of it right now. A demonstration. That's what I meant. Maybe I do a demo or something. Show you what I'm talking about. Um, I'm just basically right now working with Photoshop, to show you the functionality of it. So let's give it a stroke, right? So right now we got the wrong stroke. It's all gradient stuff, which is like a no no. So we're going to go back to solids. Excuse me, not solid but color. And then what we're going to do is this: we're going to turn down, make sure it's on outside as well, and we're going to turn it down till we can have a nice dark text. I say we should just go with one. Yep. And there you go. It's very legible. And we're going to do this for everyone here. Not this one. You can always double click on the layer and go back to stroke. And we're going to click OK. I don't know why they did not do that. So and like I said, we're basically trying to make it look legible, make it look readable, you know, which is okay. Now here's the thing about it. I could bring this in a little bit more because like I feel like this is kind of touching this right here. So we're going to bring this in a little bit more, and we're going to make sure everything lines up. See, I have this little part right here down here. It's kind of like almost touching. And if you want, you can always. I really want to shrink this down a bit more because I can't even. Can't even see that. Now I want to show you another way to do this as well. If you want to get more, like I said before, there's a I do want to put like words or in the map, so um, that means the map is going to have to be bigger. So let's save this real quick. We're gonna file, save it. Let's move on to say if you want a larger map, right? So we're gonna save as. No, we're just gonna save it. Then we're gonna do the save as. And we're gonna say this. Let's make this more like landscape, right? And again, like I said before, you can always do this in design. Right, here we go. Now, one thing you can do is this. Now, say if you want to add more, you can do that. But normally I would not do this, but just to show you what you can do if you are trying to add like a map or explanation, other locations in the city, you could do so. Like for example, like let's turn this on the side, right? So let's do a rotate. And I know you're talking about that's crazy to do, but we want to do a rotate. Okay, let's do a file image. Should be a rotate here somewhere. Give me 1 second. Image. There, rotation. Let's do a 90% clockwise. There we go. Now, yeah, it looks crazy. I get it. But this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna leave the border as is. I may stretch the border. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make the border a little bit larger to the edges. Free transform. That way we can have a little bit more room. Also, I'm gonna stretch a little bit this way. People barely gonna see that anyway. So, say if you want it on the side, right? So we're going to take. You want to make sure we highlight all the layers that we have, and we're going to do a free transform. And I think it's like -90. I think let's try -90. There we go, -90. Now with this, you are able to get more onto the page. Excuse me. You are able to get more onto the page if you would like to do so. So let's do this. So basically, I'm going to. Okay. I thought I messed up there. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to move everything around. And you see, I got longer words. Well, I got a larger area, not longer words, but a larger area here. And I might be able to like work the text within, but this is also what you can do. So that way, you can get as much detail in as possible without actually worried about, And matter of fact, you might be able to make this fit in there as well, like do cuts. Let's delete this. Since we have more room, we can always put this on one span. And say we have this little part here. I mean, it really doesn't matter, how you do it. Just basically just be mindful, how it may work out for you. It's kind of sloppy right now, but I just want you to get the idea, how else you can do it, or what other way you can do it. And that's if you decide to do it the long way. Now, if you want to take up a half a picture or a half a page, like make this a whole page, you can do that as well. But be aware of that. If you say if you want to make this a little bit bigger, you can. You do so. Not this one. Matter of fact, I'm not going to save this right here. I just want to give you a quick demonstration. I mean, I wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna save for if I because pretty much it takes away. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe how much information does a person need about a city? Sometimes I like to give lengthy explanations about the city because it gives more information or more detail or more imagination to the reader. Also if you try to do something that's quick and easy, give a brief details and stuff like that, you can do so. It all depends on what you want to do. But this is how you make a rustic page, for your map. I really didn't have a title for this video, but also what you can do is this: if you want to reset the color to the background, I don't know how it's going to look. Let me see how it's going to look with a darker background with the text, but Remember, you always want legibility over what your intentions are. And so, also one thing, cool thing I would like to do is I would like for this to like it's part of the parchment paper. So what I may do is go here and just fool around with it. Make it. I didn't say make it disappear in there, but I'll probably like try to give it a little more fading, as if like it's like it's really in there with caricatures, whatever. You can do multiple, but see if I was going to do this here, I would most definitely like play around with the levels, so that I won't lose a lot what's going on in here. It's almost like an old newspaper, to be honest with you. So sometimes you have to slide up. If you were going to make it inside the picture and stuff like that. And I'm gonna let me zoom in. I'll show you what I mean. Like early in the video, I have made the borders white. Now the borders are like transparent, and you can really see. Like it kind of like buries the map into the page, or the dimensions of the borders. So like if I wish I thought about adding caricatures here. Like maybe like give the let's see, can we do a caricature real quick? Let's try it out. Let's do it there. Um, that's just to give it more of a vintage look, if you would like to. But let's see if we can make some caricatures, because I think there is a filter here. Excuse that. There is a filter here somewhere. There's a filter here somewhere. Let me check it out. Um, there's a filter here. Now the question is, like now this is something I never tried out, so I'm going to base this is basically like experimental mode here. So let's do some experimenting. So I'm going to click right here, create so I can be above my layer here, other layers. Create new layer. Let's see if I can do this right here, and I'm going to create a black background. Well, a black mat. Let me just do that right there. Now let's see if I can create some. Let me see. First, let me see if I can dissolve this through. See how it looks like. I don't know. Like I want to create some warm stuff here. Let's go with gray. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a gray, or maybe like a grayish. I don't know. I don't know what that color is called, but something like that. All right, so let's do this. Let's look for some caricatures and filters. Maybe that'll work out. Not quite sure. Like I said, it's test mode. Now it may not work because there's nothing there. Matter of fact, got an idea. Let's get rid of that, and we're gonna flatten everything, right? But we're not gonna flatten it, but we're gonna make it a a smart layer, or smart object, excuse me. And because it's too full, okay, gotcha. Hmm. All right, so look, I have a problem here. Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, so pretty much I may have to end the video here. I don't know what's going on, but let me do something real quick. Maybe but before I do want to try to show you something with the caricature. So let's do this. Let's duplicate this. Bam, bam. And I'm gonna cut that out real quick. So let's try that caricature again. I do not want to convert. Oh, okay. This may take a minute. Okay. Ooh, this Photoshop is going crazy. Well, look. Looks like I won't be able to show you what I'm trying to show you, because my as you see, my mouse is going crazy trying to figure out what's going on here. And I'm basically trying to clear out the RAM right now. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay. I guess I can show you real quick. This is going to be. Oh, come on. I guess it's not. I guess I really. I guess I really can't do it right now. All right, listen. I'm going to end the video here. But like I said before, if you ever want to do a parchment page for your book, like like for additional artwork, you can. Um, Pretty much. This is just something like just something that has been an interest of mine, making parchment maps, making parchment paper, character, like, well, basically making my photography look like more like Victorian or medieval style parchment. I keep saying parchment a lot. That's a new buzzword, parchment. Anyway, but anyway, thank you for joining me live here. Well, not live, but a recorded session here. And hopefully next video, I don't have the same problem with the scratch disc, but I will have a new content for you dealing with either with the new photo shoot I have recently done, or I will be visiting the TERRES name text, which I have been designing for the past almost past 6 months or 6 8 months. So anyway, thank you for joining me live. Not live, joining me here. Take care and peace.